we're just going to practice some multiplying. Still from 6.2. Okay. So this is from, these problems are from 6.2. Scroll down. H. Okay. So F times H. So the first thing you should do is write out the size of the matrices, so then you can figure out if it's possible to multiply them or not. So what size is F? 2 by 3. And H? 2 by 2.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Say if you switch.
Yeah, so if you did switch the order, you could multiply. But the order matters. So if it says FH, you have to do that order. So if you are doing FH, you cannot multiply because those numbers are not equal. Okay, it says if an operation cannot be completed, state why. This is acceptable to say, to write it out just like that. You could write it out in words. You could say the columns of F don't equal the rows of H. You could say that. Mm-hmm.
So like on that kind of problem, you can't say what it is. Essentially, you can't change the order. You have to do it like that. So
Yeah. Right. So you would say not possible.
Could we just write not possible?
Unless it says to give a reason.
With different sizes.
No, because they can be different sizes. Like you could do H times F. You could do H times F, even though they're different sizes. It's not the size of the whole matrix. It's the columns of the first and the rows of the second that matter. Okay. All right, E and B. So what size is E? 3 by 3. And B is a 3 by 1. You were up there helping?
Yeah.
So can you multiply these? Yes, because these numbers are equal. And then I know that my resulting matrix, that's where these outside numbers come in. So your resulting matrix will be a 3 by 1. Okay, so I'm going to come down here to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put blanks. I need 3 rows and 1 column. So that's what my finishing matrix will look like. Okay, so I do the rows of E and the columns of B. So this spot right here, the red, where the red line is, that is the first row, first column. Okay? So first row, first column. And then you multiply the corresponding entries and add in between. So you start at the left and the top. So 1 times 2 plus, so 1 times 2 plus negative 2 times 1 plus 0 times negative 3. Okay. The next entry, the green line that I have, is the second row, first column. Okay, so second row, first column. again, start at the left and the top. So 0 times 2 plus negative 1 times 1 plus 2 times negative 3. Okay. Then the last one is the third row and first column. So 4 times 2 plus 3 times 1 plus negative 6 times negative 3. Okay, then calculate each of those. I would just do it all together. I wouldn't try necessarily to do all the multiplying and then add, just type it all in together. Okay. So when I do 2 plus negative 2 plus 0, I get 0. And then 0 plus negative 1 plus negative 6, I get negative 7. And then 8 plus 3 plus 18, I got 29. Okay, there's my answer. Questions about that? Okay, look at f squared. So f squared would be f times f. Okay, so you're doing f times f. F, what size is f? 2 by 3. So a 2 by 3 and a 2 by 3. Can you multiply those? No. So you can only square matrices that are square, like same numbers of rows and columns, like a 2 by 2 or 3 by 3. And you would just write them next to each other and multiply those out. So this one, though, is not possible.
Is it possible like cube matrix?
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be square matrix still, though. And you would do like the first two, the order matters, so you have to do like the first two and then the last one. But you won't have to do that. Okay. Good. Let's practice another one. So we're going to do 36 and then this extra example here. Well, so this is just an extra example. And then now it's number 36 from 6.2. Sorry. Yep. And I'll talk more about that. But yes. So we're going to do D times E. And D is what size? 3 by 3. And E is 3 by 3. So yes, I can multiply. Okay, these are the same. And my new matrix will be what size? 3 by 3. So I go ahead and write that out with the blanks. Now you're going to need several. Or not several, but a lot of space is what I meant. And I need another row. And I'm going to copy down D and E up here just so I have them next to each other. And I gotta put D first because the order matters. So D is 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. And E, 1, negative 2, 0, 0, negative 1, 2. And 4, 3, negative 6. Okay. So for this first spot, this is the top row, first column. So it goes rows by columns. So top row, first column. Top row, first column. So I'm going to do 1 times 1 plus 0 times 0 plus 0 times 4. All right, I go across the rows. So now for this one, that's the top row, middle column. First row, second column. First row, second column. Okay, and then again, I'm going to go take the left and the top first. So 1 times negative 2 plus 0 times negative 1 plus 0 times 3. Okay. Then here, this is first row, third column. So first row, third column. So 1 times 0 plus 0 times 2 plus 0 times negative 6. Then I'm back to the first column. First column, so second row, first column. So second row, first column. And now I'm 0 times 1 plus 1 times 0 plus 0 times 4. Okay. Now I'm second row, second column. Second row, second column. 0 times negative 2 plus 1 times negative 1 plus 0 times 3. Everybody still caught up with me? We got it together? Okay. I don't want to leave anyone lost out there. And then this is second row. This spot here is second row, third column. So second row, third column. So rows is the first one, columns is the second. So 0 times 0 plus 1 times 2 plus 0 times negative 6. Okay. And then now I'm down to the third row. So third row, first column here. So 0 times 1 plus 0 times 0 plus 1 times 4. And then third row, second column, 0 times negative 2 plus 0 times 0 1 times 3 here. And then third row, third column. 0 times 0 plus 0 times 2 plus 1 times negative 6. Okay. All right. So then we simplify. So 1 times 0 plus 1 plus 0 plus 0 is 1. Negative 2 plus 0 plus 0 is negative 2. 0 plus 0 plus 0, 0. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus negative 1 plus 0 is negative 1. 0 plus 2 plus 0 is 2. 0 plus 0 plus 4 is 4. 0 plus 0 plus 3 is 3. And 0 plus 0 plus negative 6 is negative 6. Okay. So here is my answer. And what do I notice that is? As which matrix? E. So the reason why that happened, that's not always when it happens. The reason why that happened is because D is a special matrix. So D, we talked about this at the end of class yesterday. This is what you asked about, Shelby. D is the identity matrix for multiplication. So for addition, our identity, we said, was Z, and that's all zeros. For multiplication, it's a diagonal of ones, and the rest are zeros. And what that means is, like, in real numbers, that's like multiplying by 1. So, like, 3 times 1 is 3. So for matrices, if you multiply by I, so diagonal of 1 and the rest zeros, that's like multiplying by 1, you'll get the same matrix. If you notice that on a test, you can do it. You can use it. I'd like you to at least point out, like, maybe do this, like say that's I, so I know you know that's why you got the same thing. Okay, so let's look at C times F. So C is what size? 3 by 2, and F is 2 by 3. So can you multiply those? Yes. And what's your new matrix? 3 by 3. Okay. C, neither C nor F is the identity, so you can't use that shortcut. Okay, let's write out C. I'm just going to get you started, and then I'm going to let you work this one. So there's C, and then F. Okay, remember, your new matrix is going to be 3 by 3. So I would set up those blanks like we did the first time. And we go row by column. So row by column. That's why the columns and rows have to match. So then each entry has a place to go. Okay. This has decimals in it, so you will get some numbers with decimals. That's fine to just leave them like that. That's where they overlap. This and this, they overlap. You want to get it. Alright, I'm going to put the answer up just in case you're not quite there. Yeah. Okay. So your answer, if you're not there, go ahead and write this down so you can check later. And if you do get lost, if you need some help, let me know. So we're going to do some graphing calculator stuff. Okay. Alright, so there's a way to type these in the graphing calculator. And that can be helpful for matrices that are really big, or some matrices that just don't have very nice numbers. So for example, some of these aren't that nice. Okay. So I need to scoot this over a little bit so I can pull it in the calculator. Okay. All right. So I want to do A minus H. So I need to type in matrix A. So on the graphing calculator, it depends how old yours is. Some of mine are really old, so you either have a matrix button at second x inverse, like that little -1, or it's just right next to math, like not second, just math, like right next to math. So everybody find their matrix button. Yes. Okay. Everybody here, please. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is edit. I need to type my matrices in. Okay, so you have have to go over to edit. And now, some of third hour already did this.
Did they even say 2 by 2
No, because you can change that. Third hour already did this, so some of you might already have these typed in, but just do it over anyway. So I gotta go over to edit, and I want to edit A, and I'm gonna type in A. So hit enter. So over to edit, hit enter, and then here's where you can change the size. So A is in 2 by 2. So I would type in 2 by 2, okay, and just use your arrow keys. Then you can arrow down to start entering them in. When you type in a number, hit enter, so -5, and it'll move you to the next entry. 4, enter, 3, enter, 9, enter. So I'm copying A down. So go to edit, enter. Okay, so your 2 by 2, that's what you want. And just arrow down. So now type in -5. Enter. There you go. So did we all at least get those typed in? No? There's a part on your there's a part on your quiz that has graphic calculator. So you will want to. Okay, everybody good? All right. So then I want H. So you can decide to either in your calculator. So you have to go back and edit again. So go back to the same steps. So second matrix over to edit. But this time you need to pick a different one. I called mine C last time, but I had to remind myself that I've actually changed that to C. There is an H if you scroll down. If you'd rather just type it in H, it doesn't matter. I did C because I am going to use B. So C, which is a 2 by 2. Okay. When you type in the fractions, some of you have the fraction key on your graphic calculator that you know how to use. That's fine. For these old ones, you just do the division sign. So -3 divided by 19, enter. And it's going to change it to a decimal. That's okay. The calculator still knows what it is. It's a fraction. And then 4 divided by 57, enter. 1 divided by 19, enter. 5 divided by 57, enter. Okay. We're going to use B, so let's go ahead and go back to the same steps and type in B, so then we have them typed in. So second matrix, over to edit. I want to type in B, okay, 1001. And now, obviously, if you remember that that's the identity, and you might not need to even use that, but we're just practicing with the calculator. The next problem. Oh, yeah. We're going to use B in just a minute, so I'm just typing in. So right now we're in the matrix function of the calculator. So to do any operations, I have to go back to the home screen. So after you've typed everything in, you have to go back to the home screen. And just hitting clear isn't going to get you there. So if you get stuck somewhere and you don't know how to, hitting clear, because this happens sometimes when you're graphing too. If you hit second mode, that's quick. That takes you right back to the original your home screen. Second mode. Okay. So this is where I have to do all the operations. Now I want to do A minus H, or what I've called C now. So I do have to go back to matrix to call it up that I want matrix A. But this time I'm under names. I'm not editing. So matrix A. So I just go to matrix and I select A, and then I do minus. And then I want matrix C, so then I go back to matrix and I select C, and then enter. So I did matrix A minus C. So you have to go back to your matrix, so then enter. Okay, you got to go back to your home screen. Yeah, hold on. Okay. Okay. And now go to matrix. And we want A, so enter. Just enter. And then minus. And then back to matrix. Now you want matrix C. Down to C. Yep. Enter. Yep. Enter. Okay. So it gave me my answers in decimals, but I want fractions because that's what I had here. So just like anytime on your calculator, if you hit math, enter, enter, then it'll change them back to fractions for you. Math, enter, enter. Yep, yep. And these dot, dot, dot at the end means you can scroll over. Okay. And there's the solution. Okay, so now let's do B times H. Which is now, remember H I typed in as C. So let's do B times C. So I'm going to just go, I'm still on my home screen. You can clear if you want, but you're times B. So second matrix, and I want B. And then you don't have to put the times symbol. You can just put them next to each other. And then, yes, it should be because that was the identity. And then math, enter, enter. Okay? So we'll be using these more once we get into 6.3 and 6.4. We're going to do some matrix math. So if you look under matrix, there's this math column. We'll use that in 6.3 and 6.4 to do some things. On your test, there's parts that you, it's not separated by graphing calculator and non-graphing calculator. On the quiz it is, but on your test it is not. But because there's parts that say you have to do by hand, so you do have to show your work. And then other stuff that doesn't say it, you can use a calculator. And because of time, you will want to use the graphing calculator on your test. More core stuff that we're going to do in 6.3 and 6.4. But you'll want to use that. So you'll want to learn now, kind of be comfortable with it. Okay? Questions about that? All right. So that's it. That's where we're going to stop.